Greetings and welcome to the video concept guide introduction to the final exams for Chemistry 221. The final exams in Chemistry 221 are basically encapsulated in three separate pieces. First of all, there is the quote-unquote take-home final. Take-home final tends to instill a little fear in people, but I want you to know right off the top of the bat, it's just a glorified problem set. The last material from Concept Guide 6, I don't have a chance to assess people very well on, and also doesn't give them a chance to prepare as much. So the take-home final is really just a series of questions that are over the stuff from Concept Guide 6. If you're ready for that, you will do fine on the take-home final. The take-home final is also something you can work on in groups. Please don't ask the tutors for assistance. Please don't ask other chemistry instructors or myself for assistance, but you can work in groups, and I encourage that. I think it helps all of you to learn the material. Sometimes you learn best by teaching. I have found that myself, and I think you might find this too if you work in groups. The second part of the final exam is the lecture final. The lecture final time and date will be announced in class, but this is basically material that covers all of the chapters we've looked at in Chemistry 221. So it's a good idea to go back and look from maybe the first midterm exam and the second midterm exam, the concepts that were in there. You can use that to study, and then also use the take-home final as a study guide. All of these things will be good. The lecture final is a multiple choice exam. You'll need a Scantron for this one. So to the lecture final, make sure you bring the completed take-home final. Make sure you bring a Scantron with 50 questions on each side, a calculator, and a pencil. Finally, then there is the Chemistry 221 lab final. The lab final is a complete show your work final. You will not need a Scantron for the lab final. And depending on the format of the lab final, it's generally a series of questions where you show your work, studying the different concepts that we've looked at in lab. So there will be things on, say, titrations. There will be probably a question on the hydrogen spectrum lab, things like that. We'll talk about this more in the problem set recitation area, so you'll know kind of what to expect. And there's also a lab final study guide that you can use to kind of prepare for things. We'll talk about this more in class. So there's a lot of material right now, but it's no problem. So again, just to recap, the take-home final is really nothing more than a glorified problem set. You can work in groups on that, and that'll be due at the time of your lecture final. The lecture final is all multiple choice. You will need a Scantron, a calculator, and a pencil, and you'll also want to bring the completed take-home final. Finally then, the lab final is a complete show your work final. You will not need a Scantron, but you should bring a calculator and a pencil or a pen. You'll complete that and work individually on that. And the best thing is that it's almost the break time, so just a little bit longer. All right. If you have questions on any of this, please contact me. I am here to help, and I want you to succeed. All right. Good luck in your studying, and remember, we're almost through the end of the term. Good luck.